Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another week. It's been a week. It has been a wild one. I will say that. Great to see everybody in the chat. I'm probably gonna recap what's been going on this week because it's just been too crazy, and I will probably also give you a little tour of the rebuilt server room, which is related. So welcome. If you do have a question for me, make sure you drop it in the chat with the letter Q at the beginning, and that'll make it easier for me to see it as we get going. Yes, the power is still on, and we have officially real power now. So this is going to be a quick House Files update because it's going to be a while before we can film a video probably for that channel. So quick update. I mentioned this last week that I was very much not looking forward to having to rebuild the server room. And the reason for that was because we're getting permanent power hooked up. This has been the thing holding up quite a lot of the project at this point. If you go watch House Files videos, the most recent ones, almost every single video we mentioned that we don't have power, so we can't do a bunch of stuff. Like the mini splits and the hot tub stuff that is like requires lots of amps, right? So I got a date from the power company for Tuesday of this week, last week, and that was the date they were going to come and move the line, move the power from the temporary pole over to where the meters are, hook up all the meters, install meters. There weren't any meters before. Install meters on for all 5, meters, and the reason it was complicated is because the place, this building where we're living right now and the studio was being fed off of a separate line coming from the street to a meter on that wall, and they don't let you have two service runs from the street onto the same lot here, so they had to move that meter to the other building. And months ago, my electrician had run the wire from the new meter location into a conduit coming out the wall by the server room over there, and waiting for the day the power company's going to come hook it up. So I had to call my electrician, get him here on the same day as the power company, and basically the plan was, if everything was going to go according to plan, they would take down the line, move the meter, install the new line, and at the same time, my electrician will be working in the closet there to run the new wire from the actual from the conduit into the ceiling into the breaker panel and cut the other one. And that was the plan. So, oh my gosh, the guy from the power company got here Tuesday morning and was not in a good mood. He was like, oh, you didn't trim the tree back. Oh, the little conduit thing is too far. There's two of them that's too far away from each other. It was only a ½ inch off. And there's a car parked where I need to put my truck. And this is clearly not going to happen today. And I was like, no way am I rescheduling this. This was like too much work. Part of the reason it was too much work was because, I'll show you a before picture. This was my server closet, and the breaker panel is just out of the frame on the right there. But that's a lot of stuff in there that I had to remove in order to make it so the electrician could work, because he basically took apart the entire ceiling in there, and had it was a big drywall mess, and drilling through the studs and stuff. So I was like, I'm gonna take everything out. So I spent the entire day Monday getting all that out of there, and then rigging up just enough of it again to get internet still, because that's where the fiber comes in also. Anyway, that was the tour we did last week. So yeah, he was like, it's not happening today. And I was like, yes, it is. It is absolutely happening. And I had already started calling like the lady at the power company, and was having a word with her. And then thankfully another guy from the company showed up, and he was in a much better mood. And he started like being like, how can we make this work? And meanwhile, my contractor is there trimming the tree back immediately. He just started getting up on a ladder and chopping the tree. And my electrician was like, I can move that conduit in an hour. Just give me an hour. Oh, the other thing the power company guy forgot was the right wire. He didn't realize that there are 5 meters and we need 1,000 amps here. But I don't know why he didn't know that. It was all written down in the work order. But he was like, I don't have the right wire. So when the second guy got here, he was much more willing to like figure out a plan. And then they made a plan, which was they were going to go get lunch, stop and get the right wire. Meanwhile, we will finish the tree trim and we will install the right conduit. And thankfully they came back from lunch at about like, I don't know, it was like 2 o'clock, and they started working. And they did, in fact, the funniest thing was this is the outside of the building here. This is where the meter is. That's this wall right to the right of me. The guy from the power company was like, are you ready for this? Because I need to move the meter now. And I was like, yep, I guess so. And he just grabbed the meter and just yanked it off the wall. Like, I assumed I was going to have to like go turn off the breaker first or something, but no, he just pulled it right off the wall. I was like, okay, you can do that. And then we had no power. So this whole place was shut down. And then it was just a race against time at that point. So this was a progress shot of the new main power line being run through that wall into the breaker panel. And also we had to get a new physical main 200 amp breaker, because the one that was in there had been stripped. The bolts had been stripped because when they installed it in 2008 or whatever, apparently they just over tightened it and stripped the bolts. And so they had to go run out and get a new breaker. and it was like a whole thing. And then finally they did manage to get back the power back up here by like 4 or 5 o'clock or something. So it was only a couple hours that it was down, really. So, oh my gosh, what a relief. And then it was my project to put it all back together. And I decided since the walls were open, I would take this opportunity to clean up some of the wiring mess. So here is the panel with all of my Ethernet runs that I moved inside the wall because those were all just draped across the room before. I put them all into a little box, so they all are poking out of the wall. I moved everything. So there were a couple that were coming from the other wall in that room as well, and they were just like strung across the ceiling. One goes to like an antenna outside. One goes to a network switches outside for cameras, and I ran those through the ceiling also because the ceiling was open. So I got a chance to tuck everything up in there nice and neat. And so this is the other side, and you can see that the wires are no longer running out of that corner. And then I had the drywall guy come the next day to patch this all back up, and we took the opportunity to clean it up a bit too, because these pipes have always been sticking out of the ceiling, and it's not great. So we did a little cleanup. This is me taping off, covering all my wires in a plastic bag, which keeps them nice and clean while the drywaller is working. And we got it all boxed up. So now now it's nice and clean in there, tidy in there. And that one coming out of the ceiling is actually the fiber run for my internet connection. So this is now, instead of the fiber coming out of that corner from the exposed wall, it's like up in the ceiling. It pokes down. I put a little brush plate on it. And then this is the wall with the new port. I almost moved that outlet over to the left side just because I realized it would be a better place over there, but that was just like one too many things to do that day, and I did not do it. So here's my little termination of all the jacks. There were exactly 12 wires, which was great. So my little 12 port bay is all neat and tidy and labeled. And then I started putting the rack together. Oh, I do have a time lapse of this, which is kind of fun. Let me grab that. This is a lot of. This was a lot of hours, many hours. So that's the fiber modem going in first, and I found phone jacks in the wall, but the phone wires were Cat 5, Cat 5E, I think actually. So I pulled them out of that low voltage box, which is where the phone interface was, and I moved them up above and terminated them in Ethernet jacks. So I don't know where the other one is. One goes upstairs to the kitchen. The other one I don't know where it is. So there's a phone jack in here somewhere. But yeah, so now it's put the rack back together, and I tried to do a much better job this time of wiring and keeping everything clean. So now you can see that power strip. This is why I was like, I should move the outlet, because now I just have these wires going across the room, but oh well, it's fine. So I got the patch panel on the top shelf, and then I made custom length cables to go from the wall patch panel into the rack patch panel. So this was a lot of terminating wires. One end is a RJ45, the other end is a keystone jack, the fun little 45-degree angle ones that are much easier to wire. And so each of those is one of those on one end. And I did some color coding of the jacks, and got it all put back together. So it was a lot of connecting all the jacks. I got the first 12 in the rack panel match the first 12. The 12 coming out of the wall, so those are always easy to figure out which are which. And this part took like 3 hours or so. I think it was worth it. And then I ran a new. Oh, and I also ran a new one for the internet, so that there's not that ugly yellow one just dangling. So this is running the. I'm trying to like keep it all tidy. So tried to tidy it all up, make them a lot nicer, and they're all like strapped to the rack frame because they're mostly permanent at this point. And then I started putting the gear back in. So I've got the Unify router, and then there's the switch on top. It's the 48 port Pro, which has PoE plus plus on like eight of the jacks, and then the rest are PoE plus, which is, and the plus plus is enough to run like powered hubs that require that can actually do PoE in and PoE out. That can power cameras, which is great. I love those things. So now I've got nice little tiny short hops from the patch panel into the switch, and then I went and grabbed. So after that, oh yeah, I need another power strip up there. Oh, everything's running off of this battery now. So I got rid of the UPS. I had a 2U UPS. It was way dead. The battery in it was toast. And I decided not to put it back and not to get a new battery for it and just go with the Anker battery instead. I know it's not a UPS, but it does actually work. And I also have it on a smart switch, so I can always kill the power, let it drain down to 20%, and then let it charge back up. And I can automate that, which is kind of cool. So that's the plan for now. I might later get an actual UPS to put in it next to it to run the rack, but I don't know. I'm not a super big fan of having to replace those batteries every 2 years. So this is, yeah. So then I got the NAS is in there now. So the drives, Synology NAS and the Unify NAS are in there. And then I think that's it. I think I left the 2 empty spaces below. So that's the finished build. Oh yeah, my little server tower on the left or on the right. My little corner shelf with all the little Intel servers. So more drives over there. And yeah, it's so much cleaner in here now. And that was my week. No more DJI. So the DJI one is actually in the house, running the house rack. So I might get another one. There's the Prime Deal Day or whatever coming up in a couple days. And they sometimes have good deals on those. So I might get another one of those. But the Anker one works too. I just had it. Thanks. It does look clean. Cut the excess cable off the power strip and put a new Edison plug on it. I might actually do that. It would be nice to not have the giant mess of wires. Yeah, so the rack is back together. The power banks don't do voltage storage protection. You do put a surge protector on the house. The house does not have a surge protector, but each of the racks, the first thing I do is I put in a line conditioner in the bottom. So that does some of the, it's actually more than a surge protection. So it'll handle some of the quick dips in voltage. And so every rack that I have has one of those first. Oh, funny, except this one just has the UPS. But my desk, the server rack in the house, the server rack over there. Let me grab the link to that. Actually, they're like $100, so you know they're not cheap, but they do help. Oops. And yeah, we can go take an actual tour of that room if you want to see it live. Also the water heater is on right now, so it's making this little whining noise, which will be fun. Okay, here is the link to the here's the power strip is not the right word. Line conditioner is the word. Get a whole house protector. They have saved my appliances. So funny story, there is physically no room left in the panel to add one. I could add one here, actually. There's room in this panel, but there's no room left in the panel for the main house. Is the Anker one the 1000 CX? No, it is. Let me see if I can find it. It is. I apparently buy too much Anker stuff. I like their little power bricks. Anker, where was it? There it is. It is the C1000. I'll grab this link. Tommy had some issues with it. The anchor one. Passes my whole house. Surge protector is actually mounted on the bottom of my breaker box, not inside. Not in the breaker panel? Oh, interesting. Oh, and Matt has one outside. Oh, interesting. Well, maybe I will. I wonder how I could do that. Why is the best place for server racks always 18 inches away from the water heater? Well, so the cool thing about my water heater is that I got it replaced with a heat pump water heater, which means it's now an air conditioner when it's running. So in that room, it's actually very cold when the water heater is running. So here is the temperature graph right now. So you can see outside it's warming up now that the sun's out. But the server room will get really warm. Also, I don't have the fan running yet. The fan is not installed. So, you know, it'll get up to 91, 92. And then as soon as the water heater kicks in, the temperature just drops by like 15 degrees. So it's probably almost done. So if we want to hear the noise, got to do it right now. There should be a punch out on the bottom of the breaker box for the surge protector. I'll see if that makes any sense. One of the problems is the panel for the house is inside the stairs to the like up to the roof, and I don't want to put any more things on that wall because they will physically stick out of the wall into the landing area. And I also made had nice covers made for the panel. So can't do it up there. If it's an option to do it at the meter location, I could do that because that's outside and doing it on the outside of the house would work well. So maybe I will think about it. What do I use for those temperature graphs? This is all Home Assistant. So Home Assistant is the whole home automation platform for the house, and I basically get everything into there that I can. So it's the temperature sensors are 433 megahertz sensors that are received by a Raspberry Pi that then pushes it into Home Assistant. Some of the sensors are actually Bluetooth sensors also that are paired directly with the computer. But it's cool because you can do stuff like, so what I did with this one was I actually have this derivative graph down here, which is showing the change in temperature over time. So you can see that right now the closet is changing at -5 degrees a minute. So it was, when it first kicked in, it was changing at 13 degrees a minute. So then I made an automation for this, which is if the temperature drops faster than 5 a minute, it will turn off the fan that's in that room, because the fan blows to the outside, so that when the heater is not on, when the heater's not kicking in and air conditioning the room, the fan will kick in and blow the hot air outside. And that kind of automation stuff is super fun to do with Home Assistant. Matt says, I got an on-demand water heater so much smaller and unlimited hot water. Yeah, I have those for the main house. I didn't want to deal with the redoing the power from the breaker panel here for that, because it requires a ton of power. But yeah, for the main house we have the instant water heater. It's so crazy. It's just this little panel with little tubes inside that can instantly heat water. It's kind of scary how much power that is, actually. CSD Global says, have you seen the large server rooms where they pipe the heat for central heating at the home? Could be an option. If I had more physical space on this lot and had planned ahead better, I would have tried to do something like that, of like make an actual server room that is tied to the heating system. Definitely requires more planning, and also very, very different configuration of how the house would have worked. So way too late for that now. Does this mean a move-in date before Thanksgiving? Very possibly. Very possibly. even scarier when those internal heating tubes break. I can imagine. I've been thinking about this actually of another home assistant automation. Um, there are little leak sensors that basically will scream at 120 decibels when they detect water, so you can put them on the ground underneath things that might leak that you don't want to leak. And so I'm going to probably get one for every place there's like a risk of that. So like under every sink, under all the water heaters. So I like them because they'll make a loud noise, right, which will be very hard to miss if you're just in the house. But they can also be paired to over Zigbee to Home Assistant. So that means I can have an alert come into the Home Assistant network if one of them detects water, and between that and the so yeah, you can also get these little like robots that attach to the pipes and will physically turn the knob that's a shutoff valve. All the water shutoffs here are quarter turn valves, so you only have to go that far to turn it off. And there are little robots that can actually make physically turn that knob for you. And so my plan is to rig up all the water sensors, and if one detects water because there's a leak, then I can tell the valve to shut off the water for the unit. And that is my safety plan, because no one wants gallons of water leaking into the house. Matt says my whole house generator is gas as well, because in the 25 years I've lived in Nashville, the gas has only gone out once. I have a UPS on the generator, so I never even lose power. That's cool. Yeah, I took out the gas line here, so we don't have natural gas anymore on the lot at all. Let's go take a look in the room. Grab my little wireless camera. My phone. Andre says our housing complex installs those sensors as standard to each wet room. They are connected to the housing automation. They shut off the water instantly. Oh, good. I'm glad that. Have you ever had it trigger? I'm curious. Okay, let's go pop over to the other mic. And you can see you'll see the complete disaster of this room. It's even worse in here than last week, because I've had to use this to store things for all these projects. So excuse the mess in here, but I will get that cleaned up at some point. So all my spare network cables on the floor, my little tool belt, all the little network jacks. Oh, these are the network jacks that I really like. You can see they're at a 45-degree angle, so they're a lot easier to thread, and then the punch down tool takes care of actually punching them. Okay, into the can use a little monitor down here and switch which thing which computer it's talking to. Oh no, how much did you miss? Audio is cutting out. That's crazy that the range is so short. There must just be enough stuff in between. How bad was it? Ah, no audio for most of that. Okay, well, I guess I need a new plan for the mic. This is my little, what, all of it? Got to hear how loud it was for a second. Shoot. You have to do a little range test. Let's try something, actually. Let's try. You need an automation to play an alarm when the audio is muted. That would be really smart. How would I do that? How would I do that? Isn't there a companion feedback for audio though? I wonder if I can do it that way. So I feel like there is now. Audio, not gain. I want the actual. And the problem is it's not muted. It's just like it would be if there's no. The RØDECaster does have the little feedback, but I don't see how to monitor. I don't see how to monitor audio levels from ATEM. I'm struggling to think of how I would do this. We did get the gist of it. Okay, well, at least you saw it. I already explained everything. Signal input loss detection. Yeah, because the problem is that it's like the mic that I'm using doesn't tie into Companion, so I would need a way to know, is there actually any audio in the program output? And like you can, you see little, maybe off the mixer, yeah, because I do I don't actually mix the audio in the ATEM. Let's see if there's anything with the mixer that might have it. Looking for basically levels. So change from, no. Level of channel to bus, send. No, it doesn't sound right. Fader level, it's not the fader level. RØDECaster doesn't work with the companion, does it? There is a companion module now. So what about mix effect? It monitors audio levels. I don't want to have to carry another device. That's the problem. I was curious about what you were talking about for the heat pump ducting. Oh yeah. So what I was saying about the duct is that duct is for the fan that I need to put in today if it arrives early enough, or tomorrow. And the duct is just like draped onto the heat pump, the water heater. It's not actually like part of the water heater. That's all it was. Leave your number and we can call you when there's no audio. Meter is what you're looking for. Wait, is there one? I didn't see it. See, audio meters from RØDECaster. Member triggered companion button. That could work. The TF3, what's the TF3? Has the meter feedback on the button so you can see the channel muted on companion. I don't know what the TF. what the TF3 is. The other thing I could do is just get a microphone that works over there. Because clearly this one is not good enough. Oh, wow. Look at all the new channel members. In plain sight, thank you for the channel memberships. We've got 10 new channel members. Welcome, everyone. We have... Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Congrats. Welcome, new members. If you are now a new channel member, make sure you find the link to the member section below. And there's a link to the Discord where you can join, connect your YouTube account, and then chat with us throughout the week, which is where I've been sharing all this throughout the week for your updates. Oh my God, maybe a shot collar when you go out of range. That would be fun. Mix effect. X32 definitely has OSC signals for meter levels somewhere. I would assume so, because like I assume most things I want to integrate would be able to pull levels. Maybe I'm just not looking in the right place. Oh, sometimes there's variables. Let's see if we can find variables. X32 variables. Some of these might be live updating. Fader, no. Wow, there's a lot of levels. Okay, let's see. Get through the faders. Variable. Those are the names of the channels. Timestamp. Nope. Okay, what about the constellation? I don't think so. This is just going to be like... Can I filter? Yes. Nope. Audio. That's just the settings for it, not live levels. I know we have them on our Stream Deck Studios. I can see the levels on the buttons for every channel. Yeah. Matt says, when Curtis Judd had to run solo, I want a shot caller because he always fails to switch the view, but he declined that. Can you add the Yamaha TF device and see the variable? I don't know if I can do that. Yamaha TF3. Because I don't know if it's going to let me do it if it's not connected. I don't even see it. Is it this one? Oh, sorry. I did mean the RØDECaster video, not the RØDECaster Pro. Sorry. Andre says, Curtis has a stream today about which mic to buy. There you go. Yeah. I do wonder if just like even the DJI mic or something would work. The reason I didn't want to use this for this is because the receiver, I want the receiver to not require like extra, like being charged or filling. So what I did with this one is, I know this is connected, I can show you. This is this rack. So what I did here was I have this Sennheiser receiver down there. So it's just always, always on. And as soon as I turn on the transmitter, it'll pair and then the audio is available. So, yeah. grab the audio from the embedded NDI audio from your phone. I mean, maybe that's the right answer. It's not going to sound as good, but it's better than sounding like, better than not hearing it. Use a UHF mic. This one is. It is a, I forget what band. 511 megahertz is what that says. Here, let's see what it sounds like to switch over to the microphone from this phone without any other. Oh, why is there only audio in the left channel? Sorry, that's weird. But this is the phone audio, so I'm sure it's not nearly as good. No idea why there's only left audio, though. I agree that should have worked. Maybe it's because the receiver is embedded in the rack, so and I don't have an external antenna for it. Probably if I ran an external antenna for the receiver, it would solve it. Half stereo, yes, sorry. I don't know why. I think that's on the, why would it be doing that? Because it's not like I have a wireless mic doing that, so it must be on the receiver end. Anyway. Matt says, I would tell you to get the Shure Accent, but you're already being behind it in dollars. Yes. Speaking of, thanks to everyone who bought stuff last week. I shipped all those boxes out, and the tracking says they're all delivered, so hopefully they have been. I still have more stuff. Please help me clean out my space and my budget. I posted a link in the chat to my gear shop. So if you are a channel member, there's a coupon code in the Discord. So make sure you go find that first for, I think it's 15% off of anything. So some of this is gone now. Some of it is still available. Please give me more boxes to ship this week. I'm trying to recover a little bit of money that I overspent after I realized after I did my budget and did not realize that earlier. And I am also trying to clean this space out. So you can see there's too much stuff in here. It's time to do a little refresh. So I need to sell some of the things I'm not using and get some of that back. So I sold one of the Synologies. I wonder if these would work. These mics would work. Anyway, I decided to sell one of the Sony ZV-1s, two of the Sony ZV-1s actually, and ATEM Mini Extreme ISO. If you don't need the second HDMI out, I actually have I have two ATEM Mini Extremes right now. I only need one. However, one of them has a broken second HDMI out. So if you only need one HDMI out, I can actually sell you one for significantly less than this because it has a broken port. I already sent it back to Blackmagic and they confirmed it's broken, and they also confirmed they can't fix it. So that is just how it is now. You have to use that antenna, otherwise you have like 10 feet of range and some metal to obstruct you, and you have even less. Yes, so it was a combination of being, well, actually the breaker panel is physically in between this and that room. So that's not helping. So I will do that, and that should solve it. Sadly, can't purchase from Canada. It doesn't really matter as we have a nationwide postal strike. Yes, it is US only just because it is too complicated dealing with shipping internationally right now, and also Canada is on strike for some reason. Yeah. Okay. Well, that was a fun update. 40 minutes of unrelated content. Anyway, that's what I've been up to this week. It's been a lot of work. It's been yeah, it was a full day of disassembling the room. Then there was the electrical panel work. Then there was the drywall work the next day, and then the next day I put it all back together, and that was, I think, just Thursday or something. And it is, the last thing I have to do is the fan. So it is coming today. I don't know when it is coming. I hope it comes early, because then I will do it. But if it comes at like 8 p.m., I'm not going to do it today. But once I get that fan back in, that should help that room a lot. What microphone are you using? So right now I'm on my overhead microphone, which is the Audio-Technica AT875R, which is, I think, my favorite little overhead mic. I feel that I'm going to be listing some mics soon. Yeah. Cool. Oh, here's a 6-month member chat from In Plain Sight. I need to make these look different on the screen here. This is like a featured message. 6 months in and loving. I hope you are well. Thanks for being a member. It's supposed to look like, you probably saw it in the chat. It's supposed to look like this. I need to fix that on my graphics. Yeah, okay, so probably the answer is to not try to figure out how to detect silence in the stream and make an alarm go off, but instead just fix my microphone. So I will try to find a way to get the antenna out of the back of the receiver. Let's see, actually, can I? Yeah. Oh, it looks like it's, it looks like I can just do it with a SDI cable. Or it looks like it's should be easy enough. I have to get a little mount for it. I wonder why there's two. Well, that's straightforward enough to get a little cable to extend that. And then I need something to attach it. Maybe I'll put it on the back of these cabinets. Oops, that camera is way out of focus. It is not SDI. It must be regular coax. The connectors look like the same as the SDI connectors. I got a bunch of coax cable. So maybe I can just make one. Is there a way to change the pole interval for variables in Companion? It is locking BNC 50 ohm. Thanks. I will have to see if the cable that I got is 50 ohms or not. It's the because I got cable for like cable TV. Is there a way to change pole interval for variables? I think there is only a I feel like I've seen it in the settings for the connection. No. Not. Okay, some of them have it. Not everyone has it. This is the hyperdeck. And here's the polling interval. So it looks like if you don't see it in the settings screen, then that module doesn't have it. Matt says, I got a call from a content creator who was filming in an abandoned bomb shelter that had lead walls, so his wireless would not work more than 10 feet. LED walls is crazy. Well, looks like it's easy enough to just get a little cable and probably make a cable to extend that. Or maybe I can just... I can also get better antennas, figure out what frequency I'm using, and get a special antenna the right length. Because there's like a ratio for quarter, half, or full wave antenna lengths based on the frequency, and if I know what frequency my mic is set to, I can actually make a very specific antenna, not just one that kind of works mostly. Well, that'll be a fun project. I will try to see if I can do that this week. In plain sight says, I had a brief look earlier but couldn't find an answer. Is there a way to add a YouTube API key to Companion so I can show my YouTube live stream like light counter on the Stream Deck? Ooh. I've had very mixed success with the YouTube Companion integration. First of all, it's not an API key. You have to go and I think I can't show this on the screen because it has my credentials in it. Yes. So you have to go and actually like register a OAuth app in Google, and then go register an OAuth app, go like punch in the details there, copy stuff into the Companion module, and then click to log in. And it only works if you're running Companion on your Mac. It doesn't work if you're accessing it remotely over like from a Raspberry Pi. So kind of annoying. And let me see if I can re-authenticate and then at least show you what the integration does, which in my experience has not been great. So, okay. I just did the login process and it's connected now. So now let's go over to Companion and see what I can do. If I remember correctly, there's no variables for it. So, and then even the things like add insert advertisement, for example. Okay, so if we do that, it doesn't even like load the streams right. It's supposed to like load the streams that are live right now, and it just doesn't. It just never works for me. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. Anyway, it doesn't work well. It would be on my PC and I could view it remotely from web buttons. Yeah. Use Claude to build an app that pulls this using YouTube's API. Maybe that's the answer. Yeah, I don't need... Is there even a like count available in the YouTube API? That's an interesting question. I'm not sure there is. Matt says, let me check my storage unit. I may have an external antenna for you for free. Oh, that'd be cool. But I mean, I feel like all I need is a cable. I don't need a replacement antenna. But if you don't need it and you have one, let me know. IT Never Gets Old says, has anybody purchased the Elgato Stream Deck Ethernet adapters? Good question. I have, did I see they were shipping now? I can't remember. I should get one. I forget what they're called. Network dock for Stream Deck. It is on the website now, and it doesn't say coming soon, so cool. Yeah, this is definitely cool. I could get one and put a Stream Deck in the network closet. API 3 has like count and dislike count. Okay, it does. Cool. Yeah, and sadly, it's also like not really practical for me to try to write a custom app for it just because of the way that Google works. In plain sight says, I built the light counter and it works in OBS with my API key, but trying to get it in Companion, I couldn't work out. Oh, if you already have the data and you're just trying to get it into Companion, there's probably, it's probably not too hard to wire that up. How would I do that? You know what would be nice is if Companion had like the same kind of webhook integration that Home Assistant has, because in Home Assistant you can just like make a webhook and then you can just start sending data to it and it'll show up. That would be cool. Speaking of a like button, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button for Aaron. Thanks for the reminder. Hit the thumbs up and like and subscribe and click the bell, even though the bell doesn't really do anything. Razor Maybe says, have you had a chance to check the beta update from Magewell for the Director Mini? No, I didn't see any news about that. Where did you see it? I hadn't actually known about that. Is it possible to show my desktop notification as a variable and Companion button because I would turn on Do Not Disturb while streaming? I have never seen that integration. Probably not. How would that work? You would require a Companion module. But desktop notifications, I don't know how that would tie in. That's an interesting one. I think Companion has Google Sheets integrations. I don't know how that would help, but yeah, I think you're right. I've seen some fun stuff with that. Andrew says, I feel like 15 meters of XLR might do it. That would be another option. Just tether myself. Wonder why the audio from this is only one channel. What happens if I just try it again? Nope, still one channel. That's so weird. A few folks from Office Hours Global have them and they are working well. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get one. Let Your Nerd Be Heard says, the bell is fantastic for those who you want to be notified when a new video or stream is added for that channel. You say that, but I have clicked the bell on several channels and I do not get notifications. It is random when I get them. Sometimes I get them, sometimes I don't. So it's clearly not 100%. The water heater just finally turned off. Let's see what's the final temperature. And it's already going back up. It dropped it down to 73 from 89. So yeah, that's a good chunk. And it's warming up outside now too. This is my other network closet, which just has a door to the outside, and it has a fan inside, but it doesn't have any cooling, and I am trying to keep the amount of gear in there to a minimum. It's mostly just for the network switches for the house. Clear Life says, I get all of Aaron's notifications, but not any others. Can Companion run Apple scripts or shortcuts? I don't know if there are. Is there a shortcut integration? Let's see if there's a connection. Since I am running this on my Mac now. No, Apple. Script. No, I don't see anything. Mac. No. Keith says, what's your number one wished for feature now for the RØDECaster video? That is a good question. They've done so much with it. We've fully switched over Lily's Studio to the RØDECaster video 100% now, and it's working very well. We're using the NDI feature, so I can send a wireless camera in there, so I can show videos of the cats when they're during the stream, and I don't need an extra box for that anymore. We're using the layouts, of course, for all the different layouts. The built-in, probably the one missing feature, which would be nice, is the video playback, to be able to actually like choose where to start, like scrub through the timeline and like play from a certain point. Because right now for the countdown timer, I had to move it into the graphics, because normally I would run like a video, like I have her countdown timer just like a 5-minute video clip, and the problem is that you can't tell it to start playing back from 4 minutes or 3 minutes. So what I want is the ability to say, play this clip from this time code, and then I would do that from Companion and make buttons for Companion that would say 4, 3, 2, 1 minute countdown. So that's missing still. That would be great. In the meantime, I moved the countdown into the web graphics, and the other feature that would be nice, which I know is possible, but because the OC did it, actually putting the web browser engine into the RØDECaster video, so that you can actually load the graphics directly in. So it works surprisingly well on the OC Go Stream, and better than I thought it would, honestly. And that would save me from having to use OBS, get the little dongle with video out into the RØDECaster, and yeah. Oh, and then that's the other thing it's missing. When you use a USB webcam, like a capture card with the RØDECaster video right now, it will only bring in video. It doesn't bring in audio. So that, I hope they can fix that soon, because that means basically you can't do music or sound effects with your web graphics. If you're bringing them in through a capture card, you have to plug them into one of the HDMI ports. So we worked around it by just moving, because you can reassign the video channels, which is really nice. So video channel 6 is the graphics for her, but channel 6 is assigned to physical input 3, and that's where OBS comes in. But it'd be nice to have that just built in. Would the Call Me feature be helpful on the RØDECaster video? I mean, yeah, it's useful. She doesn't do a lot of call-in shows. So also, I feel like if we're going to do RØDECaster video remote guest capability, it's going to need video, not just audio. And I don't think that the Call Me service itself would ever add video to it, because it's a very, very old service for call-in shows and optimized for audio. Bitfocus Listener can run AppleScript. I've never tried that before. Zoom ISO, yes. Zoom ISO being built into the RØDECaster video would be amazing. That is, I think, how they should do it. Basically, I would want the RØDECaster to just be able to join a Zoom meeting, and then any of the remote guests you would be able to assign to video channels, which would be fantastic. That is how I would love to see that play out. Beta for Director Mini on the Facebook users group. That's the problem. I don't go on Facebook anymore. I just got this working yesterday to have a presentation remote send F1316 to control slides no matter what program is in focus. Oh, that was a part 2. A MIDI module for Companion. look into Coyote MIDI to turn MIDI into keystrokes, scripts, or other MIDI. Interesting. Okay. Bitfocus listener sounds like the thing to use. Okay. I haven't ever played with that. I don't have a lot of... I don't know what I would do with that. Why would I want to trigger stuff on the computer from Companion? It's not a thing that I have ever needed to solve. Andre says, my feature request is a remote control from a tablet. That would make sense. I could see that. A proper tablet control for the RØDECaster video. They do have companion apps already, like the Rode Capture app to get video over the network. That's why I got the YoloBox Ultra. It's the only built-in remote video option that I know of. Yeah, it's true. That'd be epic. Been trying to get Meld to do a Zoom ISO integration. Zoom ISO in the RØDECaster video that would be incredible. We will see. We will see. Maybe you need to work from a lead shelter with Portland being a war zone. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Zoom integration, not ISO. You think so? I think Zoom ISO would be better, because then you would be able to have two individual feeds from two guests brought into separate channels, because you don't want just like the active speaker always on in a Zoom call, and you definitely wouldn't ever want to see yourself back. But I feel like Zoom ISO already has all the plumbing in place to do the separate feeds and bring them into the stream. So and they have an SDK that they've been putting in other products. That's why like all of the like vMix and Ecamm and everybody like suddenly got Zoom ISO support, because they did a very intentional effort to that little smile at the corner of your mouth. You're hiding something about we will see. Yes, I am. I will just say I made some connections. We will see. I don't actually know anything other than I made some connections. Shortcut to companion integration sounds like an ATEM Tau project. It does. You're right. It'd be nice if it had a built-in screen for the RØDECaster video. I could also see them doing that. It would be like a second gen of the RØDECaster video that maybe it's the size of a RØDECaster Pro and also has a screen, because if it was the same feature set as the RØDECaster video with a screen, I mean, you're basically describing a YoloBox at that point, but obviously very different than the YoloBox. Okay. If there's no other questions, I think I'm gonna wrap this up, because I have a lot of projects to do today. I have been working on. I've been not doing much else except working on this house. Oh, last picture I'll share is the two panels I did yesterday. This is for one of the other units. I terminated all those jacks, pushed the wires up into the wall, and I still need to get another a little power cable extender to clean that up, and so I can close the door. But that's the door controller for the front door. Some of those wires actually run into the other panel that's like 2 feet away from it, which is this one, which has the power monitoring system. And the power monitoring is not hooked up yet, but I did power it and give it network. And then all the little green terminals are going to run into that upper conduit, which go to the actual breaker panel. And that'll be able to monitor the usage of every circuit. So that was yesterday. And now I'm going to go work on the hot tub, because we can actually power that up. I would love to play poker with Aaron. He clearly has a tell. It's been a long time since I played poker. I wonder if I would be any good at it anymore. Adam on the live show again soon. Maybe, yeah. I don't. I feel like I haven't chatted with him in a while. I could get in touch and see if he has anything he wants to share. It'd be kind of fun. If the RØDECaster does ever get remote guest support, I will absolutely try it out with some fun remote guests. Okay. Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap this up. I need to go work on stuff. Oh, Keith, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Contributing to keeping this studio up and running. And yeah, please, reminder for if you are in the US and you want a good deal on some stuff, then take a look at my used gear shop and buy some of my stuff so I can ship it out tomorrow rather. All right, we're gonna roll the credits. Thanks to everybody for joining today. This was fun. Thanks to the Extreme supporters, Larry, Andre, Kevin, and Marcin, and thanks to all the other channel members for your support as well. In a couple of weeks, any of these channel members will be able to join a members only live stream where I recap and catch up on the last months of my accounting. I'm going to try to do this at least every 2 months, ideally every month. And it'll be a little fun members only BTS perk while I also get to not get 9 months behind on my accounting anymore. So thanks to In Plain Sight for the 10 membership gifts. So a bunch of new members on the channel here. What's the gear shop again? I just dropped it in the chat. It's shop.aaronpk.tv. Find some of my stuff. And if you are a member, there's a discount code waiting for you in the members Discord for a good chunk off of any of that. And we will be back next week. I think it's a normal week ahead. So oh, nice. Somebody bought the ATEM Mini Extreme. Great. Congrats. I will ship that out to you tomorrow. With that, we will see you all next week. And I'm going to go work on some house projects. Bye.